Open negotiations with Derek at all?
I've been in contact with his representative, and we plan to meet shortly.
Today?
It would not be today, no. And maybe over the weekend, maybe early next week. You know, it's not. I don't believe it's something, you know, that's as dynamic as, you know, some of the free agents that are out there today. You know, where they're, you know, looking to make moves and make changes, and, you know, maybe don't have the faith in their organization. You know, I think with Derek, we'll sit down and, you know, I don't think he wants to go anywhere, and I don't think we want him to go anywhere. So there's a hope that you sit down and you work something out, and I believe that will happen.
Have you guys had any face-to-face time with any free agents that weren't on the team last season?
Any face-to-face time? We have not met with any prospective free agents other than those on our own team.
Has there been any offers made at all?
Wouldn't confirm or deny that.
Okay. How about Port's interest with Mike Miller? Is there anything that you can...
We would not comment on anybody that we may have contacted or did not contact. That's not how we do business.
You're mentioning Brian, just whenever that gets to that point that he would be a candidate, what kind of qualities would he bring to that?
You know, that's not something that I want to expound on right now. You know, it's kind of misleading. You know, I think all of our assistant coaches are qualified to be head coaches. You know, they're all at different stages in their lives, so I don't know, you know, what they feel about opportunities, but I think they're all qualified, and we have a pretty good knowledge of coaches, you know, out there that are head coaches and assistant coaches that would also be qualified. So we'll let the year play out, and we're happy to have Phil back.
Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done for you, but is there any sense of relief knowing that this part of it is done with Phil? And I mean, it's a pretty big piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. Now, although I always felt there was a good chance, now I would never put the percentage over 50-50. That's just, you know, how it is in this business. Until somebody makes a commitment or until they sign the agreement, you just never know. So to have, you know, our coach back, you know, not just any coach, have Phil Jackson back and have his staff back, you know, it's comforting to know that you don't have to go out on a coach's hunt and then not only find a head coach, but, you know, find a supporting staff that may affect, you know, not only the coaches, but, you know, trainers and conditioning coaches, etc., because every coach has a feel for what they want to take place inside a locker room. So it's very comforting to know that will have to take place.
The whole staff is back?
Excuse me?
The whole staff will be brought back?
Which staff?
Coaching staff.
Yes. Yeah, they have, as Brian Shaw made clear last night on a radio bite, they're not under contract right now.
That's why I asked.
But we anticipate that they'll all be back.
You had mentioned that you didn't anticipate the roster with major changes. What constitutes major?
Well, I think, yeah, if we did not have Derek Fisher back next year, I think that would maybe be a major change. You know, because he's a starter. I think that would be it. You know, changes to your starters and maybe your top 6-7 players.
But adding a mid-level player, something like that, adding to it doesn't necessarily mean in terms of those kinds of changes. You're still open to adding players to the roster.
Yes. Yeah, I think our core group would be considered a major component. And yeah, in this business, you can add a minimum salary player that if he doesn't fit in, you know, it could create problems. So it's not just the money that determines, you know, whether or not something's major or not. But I think if our core stays intact, you know, anything beyond that, and maybe we're using the word major a little loosely. Okay, but I think I'm comfortable with our core group. You know, if we can bring Fish back and then fill out our roster with players, you know, that would help the team in a supporting role, I think we'd be fine.
Mitch, you guys aren't one of the teams with all the salary cap space saved up, but have you felt that the last couple of days in free agency have been any more fervent than in other years because of all the players available? And
it's compelling. You know, it really is. It's, you know, you got the NBA channel on ESPN, and the bottom line's going through. You're always watching, and you're talking to other GMs, and trying to figure out what's going to take place and all the meetings and GMs and owners flying to different cities. So I think it's compelling TV. It's great.
Is it kind of nice to not have to get in the middle of all that?
Very nice. We've been in the middle several times, and it's great to be on the outside looking in.
Did you send everybody seems to be sending a pitch to LeBron. We sent one, just to see if did you guys even bother faxing anything to his office?
I think I answered that question, didn't I?
Major changes?
No, I said we wouldn't comment on who we contacted and who we didn't.
Come on, show us your PowerPoint.
You got a sense that with just Phil deciding to come back, does that change in any way how you approach just the rest of the free agents you have to deal with moving forward?
No, he's not one to profess that he has intimate knowledge of the college game and the players that are available in the draft and free agents. He's got an opinion on NBA players, but as a coach, you're so into your team that maybe you don't spend as much time on the other teams, other than when you're getting ready to play them. Certainly, that applies to the college game and free agency, especially the players that come back and forth from Europe. So he doesn't get too involved in those types of decisions. Every now and then, there's an NBA player we'll run past him and get his opinion. Especially, when there are changes, and we talk about other issues. He asked me what's going on. How's this going? How are we going to work into our backcourt this year? How are we going to? We got so many free agents. Other than that, he doesn't feel, that's a position that he wants to get in as a coach.
Right.
Get me the players. And if I like the players, I'd love to coach, and we want to win. If that changes down the road, then that impacts his decision to continue to coach. So I think we've done okay.